Hello, Mike Railing here, and I have a twofer for you. I have two books I'm going to review at once. Why would I do such a thing? Well, because they're both from Brooks Books, and they both are collections over the years for two of the finest haiku poets I've known, both as people and as poets. The first is My Red by John Stevenson. And we'll get into the details in a minute, but that is his patented hat and his wry smile. I always think he's got something on me. And just captured perfectly. And the artist, Jessica, is the daughter of Shirley and Randy Brooks, who are the editors. Ah, love that. The second is Walking on Even Ground, Bill Pauly. And again, what a wonderful capture of the image. This is his face. He was always laughing, smiling, having fun at your expense sometimes. He had no problem telling me when I had a clinker poem, and I got plenty of them. He was just he's been captured perfectly here. So uh, Jessica has done a marvelous job. But let me take them one at a time. John Stevenson. If he isn't your top poet, haiku poet, he's got to be in your top five. Come on. He's done everything you can possibly do in haiku. I'll list all of his accomplishments and the offices he's held. He's been an editor of a Frog Pond, and he's collaborated with everybody, and he's worked hard and currently is the managing editor of the Heron's Nest. Took it over, took it to the web, did a marvelous job, and continues, by the way, to do a marvelous job. He is just one of the best. Now, the details of this collection are that he selected, I don't know, 1,500, 1,000 poems of his that had been published. And he gave them to Brooks Books, and they brought in people to look at them and curate them. And so what you've got is a sifting process, almost like a contest. It's a contest among John Stevenson's own poems. And so you've got the best of the best over the years. So I would say, if you want to learn about haiku, both of these books qualify for that. The best way to learn haiku is to read really good haiku. There's no better way. You can read 10,000 pages by the best and smartest people in the business, and there's plenty of them who've written about haiku and what it is and how it is and the history of it. But there's nothing better than reading really fine, well-crafted poems. One of the hallmarks of John Stevenson's work, and he covers any topic. I can't possibly give you glimpses into everything he's ever written about because, well, buy the book if you want that. But I'm going to give you a sampling. But over the years, uh, he's done everything you can possibly do in haiku. And if you read fine haiku that's well crafted like this, you don't find an extra word or something to quibble about, particularly in this collection because it's been gone over with a fine-tooth comb. So I'm going to read you some. And these came out last year. They won Touchstone Awards, that Merit Book Awards. Yeah, I get it. And he said, why are you doing these now? Because I don't want them to be forgotten. And I don't want people in the flush of all the awards and nonsense, people get interested in them and they hear about them. If you haven't bought them yet, you need to think about this again. And I'll get to the end. I'll tell you how to decide if you can't buy more than one. But let me read this one for you. And again, my patented random style. I'm just opening them up because you're not going to find a clinker in this collection. Obituary photos. No one looks surprised. I think as a reader, you'll be surprised. I was. And that's a perfectly crafted poem. It's just, I guess you know when you know. And here's another one. After the day of the funeral, the night. That's the hard part. That is the hard. He's wicked. By the way, he's a great haiku poet. I'm going to read you some wicked haiku here in a bit. But his senru are just knock the cover off the ball stuff. Here's one. Stick figures, including one I recognize. Isn't that the way it is? Your kid draws you a stick figure picture, and you get you know he's got you in there, Dad. He may have even labeled it Dad. It's just so cool. And this one, my eyes slip off her silk. That is stunning. This is a one-line haiku. Anyone would be proud to have written this one. A leaf ago, the shallow past. Reading in bed, her book more interesting than mine. And another one-line haiku. Unable to find the middle of the night. Now this one, I wasn't going to read it, but what the heck? Every poet should just memorialize the events in their lives. At the urinal, I remember my plants. Anyway, my red, selected haiku of John Stevenson. You'll have a blast. And here's what I recommend. You put it on your shelf and read it. Just make a note to read it once or twice a year. Pull it off the shelf and read the whole thing. You'll be a better poet. Guaranteed. And next, Walking Uneven Ground. Selected haiku of Bill Pauly. Oh, man. I met him in person at the Cradle of American Haiku years ago. And the last Cradle, we sat together at the dinner table, had a riot. He is a raconteur. He's a fun guy to be around. And talking about haiku with him was one of the joys. And then not too long afterwards, he passed away, but I had those moments together with him, and he still makes me smile. He's such a cool guy. And again, Brooks Books did with this exactly the same thing. This is curated work, but they actually went in and after he passed away, and were able to look at all of his work, everything from Post-it notes that he had. And they brought in some of his students and friends, Francine Banworth and others, to help make these selections. What you have here, again, is one of those highly sifted groups of poems over the years, published in all kinds of places. And he was a teacher too. He was always a student. Every day he woke up a student of haiku, but he was also a teacher and a kind one and somebody who would help you learn more. So let's read some of his poems. Cuckoo Moon, laughing herself right out of her clothes. uh, Poinsettia in the blood-red butcher's hand. Matching. I love it. This one is so good. This one appeared in Modern Haiku in 1978, but I'll bet you Paul Miller would publish it tomorrow. Maybe I should try and submit it as my own. Huh? Just kidding. Fall. The spider laces the trapper's boots. Fall. The spider laces the trapper's boots. That is such a beautiful image. If I was a spider, I would want to be memorialized in a poem like that. And this one, the white cat licking moonlight from its back. The sheen off the back of that shining fur. It's such a beautiful image. And I've seen it 1,000 times. And we're cat lovers. We've had dozens of cats over the years. And we have one that rules the house right now, Damon. But I've seen it and never thought to capture that moment. And Bill Pauly did it in 1978. Teach me to wait. Inside the snail shell, last year's rain. That is so cool. And here's one. Anniversary. Her finger tightens inside the ring. It's fun getting older. It really is. And this one is almost perfect. Okay, it's perfect. Traveling broken, monarch wings. And you see the monarchs at the end of their travels, and the wings have been tattered and are broken. But they're still there. You just, the way he captures things was just so unique and stunning. This one was in Frog Pond in 2010. If I had to guess, I believe this was one of those that was chosen as the best of the issue. Menopause, the sound of rain on dry leaves. That is such a, I walk around Bill Pauly. I'm sorry, I miss the guy. I miss him, but thank God we got this. I mean, I'm on my way. On Friday, I'll be at Cradle, probably for the last time I'm going to be able to go. And I'm going to carry this one with me. This is such a good collection. I promised you that I would at the end tell you. I know that people say, well, I can't afford to buy both of them, Mike. What's your recommendation? Well, I have a recommendation, and I'm not going to kid you. I love John Stevenson. I love Bill Pauly. But here's what I would suggest you do if you can only buy one of these books. Flip a coin. Because I could not choose between them. That's why I did a double review. I don't think this will ever happen again. And to Brooks Books, Thank you. There was a lot of work that went into these collections to give us this. And these are not just remembrances of the poet. They're instruction manuals. Look at it that way. And if you do, you'll find that this is an inexpensive way to learn haiku. It's the collections like this that have taught me more than anything else. And I devour everything that's written. I'm probably the only guy in the world who's read everything by Richard Gilbert. So if he sees this, he'll punch me probably. But these are two excellent books. Cannot recommend them enough. I'll put the link to Brooks books below, and make sure that you have a chance to take a look at these. And pick one if you've got to. Flip the coin and get one of them, because these will teach you a great deal about how to haiku.